that was quick.
That was very quick.
I hope this is working right. Okay. And hopefully this one, retired toddlers. Okay. This was a kind of last minute decision. I understand we'll probably have some bad internet connection, but we'll try this anyway. We had a couple people come up to us on the ship and ask us to give an update on our Retired Toddlers Facebook page about what's going on with the coronavirus and our Holland America ship. And so we will do our best to do this, of course, internet pending, so that if you have friends and family on the ship, we'll try to give you updates. Of course, just like probably back at home, these updates are coming to us and changing kind of rapidly.
Yeah.
But I will say this, like Holland America has been very straightforward and transparent. Like it's kind of like a no BS, just like the captain comes on and just tells us like exactly what's happening. And I love he like doesn't really have a filter. He just like tells us.
He just shares it.
Yeah, it's just very, very transparent. Okay, so how do you feel like the ship's going with everything going on?
Well, first of all, as the captain has said, there are no cases, 0 cases of COVID-19 coronavirus on our ship. And we've been at sea now for a few days since our last port, and we've been visiting ports all around South America which have been minimally impacted by the coronavirus. So I feel like we've been in a big buffer for a lot of our South America voyage.
Yeah, we feel like really right now, and I think the feeling on the ship is like we're in a very safe space. We haven't really been exposed to many places that have had the coronavirus,
Right.
and our last 2 weeks have been very minimally exposed to any like big cities. I mean, we're in like these pretty small places, pretty remote places, I would say,
Yeah,
right?
in the Amazon River.
In the
So
Amazon.
these little Amazon villages.
Yeah, and the overall mood on the ship is very positive.
Yeah.
Like we don't really want to go back because it doesn't seem that way in the U.S.
Yeah.
Tell us otherwise, please.
But last night, Holland did make a corporate decision to shut down all of their cruises, all their ships for 30 days. So starting yesterday, all their ships are shut down for 30 days. For us, that means we're still going to return to port at the March 22nd into Florida. Mm-hmm. We may or may not stop at the rest of our ports. We did not stop at the one today scheduled for French Guiana because the government there said too much of a risk. They didn't want to risk it.
Because there have been a couple cases on mainland French Guiana.
Right. And even though we were visiting an island, they didn't want to risk any cross-contamination. So perhaps we will stop at Barbados in a couple days, perhaps not. We'll have to see what happens. But other than that, it's funny because the trip left on January 5th, and so we left before all this started happening noticeably.
Publicly.
Yeah, noticeably around the world. So we've just been on the ship and visiting all of South America and Antarctica, so we haven't really been in contact with any of virus-stricken areas.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, we've been very lucky just because the route, right?
Yeah,
the
right.
route that we're taking versus the route of the virus.
Yeah.
And so we feel very good about that because it's minimally impacted. Now, who knows what can happen? And we realize that, like, we don't live in that much of a bubble. I think what happens on a ship like this, where you have a 77-day cruise, it means you have a lot of really, really well-traveled people. People don't typically jump on a 77-day cruise their first time out of the States or their first time out of their country. And so you have people that are really used to just...
Travel challenges
and just
things
kind
that
of
come up and dealing with it. So there's not a sense of hysteria or anything on the ship.
No.
There's a lot of calmness and
Yeah.
people are not panicking. I think more than anything, people are figuring out what their travel plans will be at the end of the ship. A lot of people had additional cruises upcoming, flights across the oceans, so they're figuring out what it might mean for them to get home since they're going to have to change travel plans and maybe change flights and car rentals, things like that.
Yeah. And so if you're watching and you have friends and family that are crew members, from what we understand, and again, maybe we'll try to, like I said, do this daily if we can. I forgot, I jumped in the shower and then I was like, I meant to do this live video. So now I'm doing it in my pajamas. But we'll try to do this live video daily as we get updates. But from what we understand, the crew that was going to be getting off within the next couple weeks will probably disembark in Fort Lauderdale on March 22nd and go back to their home countries. If they were scheduled to be on longer, and maybe even if they were scheduled to get off in the next couple weeks, they will be staying on board Holland America. Is this how you understand it? Again, this is not official Holland America stuff. This is just how we understand it. They will be, and then they will be just kind of floating out in sea in Fort Lauderdale for the next
whatever
30
it's
days
like 20,
or something.
21 days beyond, because they have to, since the ship's operations are going to shut down for 30 days starting yesterday, they have to elapse the whole 21 days after they drop us off. So all the passengers are going to get off in Fort Lauderdale March 22nd. Some of the crew will be staying on board, but they will not have any passengers on, so they have to stay on until the ship resumes operations.
Yeah, and so it'll probably be a real fun party for them.
Yeah,
a safe space on this boat and just like nothing to do.
No passengers, just crew docked out at sea.
Yeah. I think
anchored at sea.
Yeah. So our French Guiana was canceled today. Sad about that because we got the kids we already had our yellow fever shots from years ago, but we got the kids that yellow fever shot. So now we have to go to Africa to use that yellow fever shot.
But we've been really lucky with the rest of our itinerary, so
it's been great. We stopped everywhere in the Amazon.
Yeah,
we've had beautiful weather everywhere.
Yeah, and we've been able to get into all of the ports. They said, "Oh, maybe we can get there, maybe not." So this has been the first disruption to our cruise.
And then so far we have Barbados, we have St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Dominican Republic left on our cruise, and we have exactly a week left
as of tomorrow.
Oh, today's Saturday. Oh, today's Saturday, not Sunday.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of over a week left of our cruise. So it's sad it's coming to an end. We're supposed to have 3 more stops. We'll see how that goes. We've kind of, for the last couple days, have been preparing ourselves that we might not be able to make these stops, and that's okay with us. We were here for Antarctica, for the Falkland Islands, for, some of these other places. So the Amazon, and we got to hit all that, so we feel very blessed. So we'll see. Barbados, there are supposed to, some of you may have friends and family getting off in Barbados. As of right now, as of today, they said we are stopping in Barbados. There's no cases of coronavirus on Barbados. Is that what they said?
That's what they shared with us.
That's what they said. So, so who knows? I expect that to change because I don't know why, but I think there's so many flights that might be going out are people that need to disembark in Barbados. I wouldn't be surprised. This is so much just my random thoughts. Nothing to do with...
Stop the rumor mongering.
With what? But I would wonder if they just let some of those people off and not let us off to go explore.
We'll see. We can't really surmise what might happen, but I know a lot of people
guess.
A lot of people are planning to get off in Barbados, so they're probably going to stop there as planned.
But other than that, everything is just kind of going as normal, and it's been really nice to feel away from what it feels like is complete chaos and panic in the U.S.
We do have a couple live news channels on the ship, so we've been able to grasp a little bit of what's happening, and we get the news daily, so
and it's
we can see
so
the
depressing
madness going on there, and we're saying, maybe we can just stay on the ship forever because we're in this little nice buffer right here.
Yeah. So, and we feel nice and healthy. We feel like the ship is healthy. I mean, again, that could change any time. Yeah. I think our biggest concern is for probably what a lot of your concerns are for the older generations that are more susceptible to this particular virus. And so just trying to keep everybody healthy and
Holland's been doing a great job. They've enacted a lot of their policies, which they're doing triple cleaning everywhere. The gym gets cleaned nonstop.
I see somebody in the bathroom cleaning every hour.
Yeah. And they have very proactive about asking you to cleanse your hands every
They have somebody at every single door that before you enter any food area, every single door, you cannot get past it without somebody sanitizing your hands or washing your hands. Yeah. And so we opt for the washing for the most part, just scrubbing them in that cool little machine where you put your hands in it.
It's
and it
great. Yes.
And it washes your hands for you. I'm that would be really cool. So yeah, everything else. Oh, and there's some stations that it used to be that you can serve yourself, kind of. But now
buffet style, serve yourself with a serving spoon.
But now, or you could go up and take your own parfait out of the thing. But now you cannot do any of that. Yeah. They have to serve you everything. So there's some things like that have changed, but not in
a negative way. It's actually easier. Thank you. I will have half of a grapefruit. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it. If you have any specific questions, let us know, and we will do our best to answer them, and we'll do our best to jump on here when we can and give some updates.
Yeah, and a couple of people asked us tonight to update the people out there. So people are watching. They have some family or friends on the ship. So everyone seems to be very healthy on the ship. Everyone seems to be very in good spirits. And everyone's just kind of wondering what the next step will be as far as their own travel plans and making those arrangements.
Yeah, and as far as our travel plans, what are they?
We don't know. We have 7 things planned, and we're just going to figure it out when we land.
Kind of like always, don't you always feel like we have like 7 things planned?
We did see that as, I don't know if we're going to judge whether the airports and airlines are safe to travel on, but we did see that the airfares are very cheap when we get back, so it might be an easy way to get around.
Yeah, we were going to go through Tampa, stop off in a couple other places, and then get ourselves back to my family in Ohio. But I think right now we're just going to try to go straight back because we feel like completely uncontaminated right now, and we just want to like get back so that we do not expose ourselves and then therefore social contamination. But we are trying to figure out, and this changes by the hour with me how I feel about it, which is why we have lots of options booked. Is like, should we rent a car and drive that like 19 hours, or should we fly? And it seems like flying has its benefits and driving has its benefits, and each have possibilities of I don't know. I'm sure that's how a lot of you guys feel. It's like, what is the best thing to do for society, for ourselves, for like everything. So I don't know, we'll see.
All
we
right.
have a week to figure it out. Okay, if you have any questions, let us know. We'll try to be on here tomorrow. Have a good night.
All right.